the way she's telling it is crazy. It's incoherent. It doesn't make any sense. Is this assault? Is this assault? It's bad. He shouldn't have done it, and he should stop doing this in the future, assuming it's true. The victim of a crime has got no place in dictating what the punishment for the criminal is. So it's someone saying it was their friend. Okay. They're double dipping. The combo double dip. Oh, we got 2 for the price of 1 here. No, it's just 1. You only get 1. And then you add the pedo multiplier on, and then you're fucked. And then you're truly fucked. That's a disaster. When we was on tour, he took me and my friend to a party and tried to f my roommate. After she said no, he left our house screaming. I've gone mental. I've gone literally mental over getting accused. Lock me away. None of this helps situation move forward. None of this actually helps victims. It is wild, like how bad that statement was from every single angle. Shall we? Right. So first of all, I mean, this is the other thing as well. Like, the absolute pressure that this guy must be under is insane. You know, he's got these allegations against him, and it's even reached like the mainstream press. The mainstream press are reporting on this. It's on Rolling Stone even. Rolling Stone have reported on this. I mean, I don't know. It's a bit much, isn't it? We're acting like he's Harvey Weinstein. We're acting like this guy's Harvey Weinstein. So yeah, I just feel like this has really gotten to the point where it is like pitchforks out. It's a witch hunt, you know, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of, or there doesn't seem to be much like measured actual analysis. And the biggest question of all that no one seems particularly interested in answering, right, is how do we stop this from happening in the future? Do you know what I mean? No one seems to be concerned with that when the pitchforks are out, because even if we were to say get rid of you know, even if we were to get rid of Andrew Callaghan's platform, like, does that actually meaningfully stop even Andrew Callaghan's actions? Because the thing is based on my understanding of things, whilst he did use his clout that he had from his channel to, like, you know, impress people, I don't know if, like, him not having a channel would stop the kind of pushy stuff and the you know, creepy stuff or whatever he does. And the thing is I don't really know if cancelling Andrew Callaghan is going to help this situation going forward. Because obviously there's a more fundamental issue at play which goes beyond any individual in this story. But anyway. Okay, let's have a look over this thread. Okay, right. I'm sick to the back teeth of all of these guys coming out. Oh, I'm going to talk about consent. Like, honestly, it is absolutely insufferable. Like, the amount of fucking virtue signaling that's going on at the moment. It's just like, Jesus Christ. Like, everyone's trying to get out there to be like, oh, guys, I've never raped. I'm not a raper. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. It's so crazy to me. To me, it's like so obvious. It's like I'm watching it happen, and I'm like, you know, everyone's trying to denounce him. The guys are trying to say I'm not a raper. Like, this just seems so obvious, but everyone kind of buys into it, and they're kind of just like, oh yeah, you know, he's a raper. Oh yeah, tell me about consent. Oh, this man's speaking up on consent. This is so important. Da 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 da. But the thing is like, the stuff that causes these issues is much more fundamental than any of these people seem willing to admit. You know, I don't know. People are just frothing at the mouth and want to feel good. Oh, yeah, I'm not a raper, guys. I'm not a raper. And then you get this other element as well of like people saying, like, you know, I saw one particular tweet and it was like, look, guys, look, I know what Andrew did is bad, but guys do this sort of thing. I want to hold a place for you to talk about this. This is a safe space for you to say what you've done, and it's all good, or something along those lines, you know? And it's like, as if anyone's going to go for that when Andrew Callaghan's getting absolutely wrecked over this stuff, you know? I don't know, man. It's just crazy out there. But again, we're on the dark Chud black pill arc. I don't really care about this stuff anymore. I'm just here to make content and have a good time. Give my takes on things and have a bloody good laugh while we're at it, okay? We're going to have a bloody good laugh while we're at it. Okay. All Andrew Callaghan allegations summarised. So there's been updates to this. I know that obviously Destiny covered this on stream, and I'm at big risk of just getting accused for copying Destiny's takes. But there we go. I think that I do have some different perspectives on this, I guess, based on having seen his coverage of it. So there's recent updates here. So I think we'll just kind of go over the original allegations before we go over the new information. We'll try and do it in kind of chronological order, okay? Cornbread casserole story. On January, so we've already been over this in some detail. I think the summary that I'm going to give here, okay, for this one, sounds like he was creepy and pushy with this woman, according to her account. With this story, she also put together a bunch of allegations, hearsay. One in particular that stuck out was the one about how he's got a list of people who will suck him off and he doesn't have to reciprocate. So, yeah, it was the kind of CDO of allegations happening. So, yeah. This here, I don't know. It just seems like, first of all, initially like mountain out of a molehill stuff, right? Particularly when people are talking about Andrew Callaghan this way. Now, this person here, the moldy freckle person, right? There is actually more meat on the bone, so to speak, because if you look here, she talks about how once they got in the car together, he actually like touched her without consent, which, you know, is more so along the lines of sexual assault. But of course, and as much as the soys will cry in pain as I say this position, you know, if this is something that you felt genuinely was sexual assault, like this is a legal matter. This goes beyond just drama or like talking about, this is like you're accusing him of having committed a crime. You're saying this guy committed a crime upon me. So whilst obviously in this particular case, it's going to be much harder to kind of evidence or something. The fact this person, to my knowledge, doesn't seem to have gone to the police or anything is pretty wild to me. But yeah, obviously I know some people don't like that take, but you're retarded. If you have a crime happen to you, even if you think it's going to be, you know, tricky to deal with or like cause you trauma or whatever, you got to report it. So yeah, obviously there's other issues with this person's story as well. So the way she tells it is that she knew, having had previously interacted with him and hung out with him, and I believe hooked up with him, she'd previously, had this interaction with him, which gave her the impression that he was creepy. She then thought he was going to apologize to her, so she accepted an invitation from him to go to dinner. And then whilst at dinner, he was being pesty about having sex in her car. So she said that she'd give him a ride home for some reason. And then whilst in the car, at that point is when the alleged touching without consent happened. And in fact, in her video, and this is what's crazy to me, it's like we've reached the stage where it feels like people just aren't willing to sort of question any aspect of these people's stories. Do you know what I mean? It's like, look, if he did what he did, yeah, obviously that's bad, but the way she's telling it is crazy. It's like incoherent. It doesn't make any sense. I got my cell phone stolen and I didn't report it because it's pointless. Do you think that's wrong? That's fine as long as you don't go onto Twitter and say, I got my cell phone stolen and this is the name of the person that did it, okay? That's the issue. It's the publication of that is a problem. Now, the thing is, it's like, I agree that people should be able to talk about experiences they've had. I think it's important to talk about that sort of thing. But the issue is the culture that we now exist in is of a witch hunt, is of pitchforks, is of destruction, is of revenge and vengeance, right? So you can't do it in a vacuum, unfortunately. And I don't know what the answer is, because I think people should be able to talk about bad experiences they've had and stuff like that. And I think we set a bad precedent if we're saying you can't ever name the person that you're talking about or something along those lines. But there needs to be a better way to deal with this, because by talking about it, you will automatically invoke the biggest retards on the internet to start a witch hunt and go and try and destroy this person. Right? So I don't know what the solution to that is. It's just very toxic and problematic, to invoke the phrases, social media dynamics that don't really help us move forward. So yeah, I don't know. Tricky. Anyway, So this here was, I don't actually know what this bit here, I'm not really sure what this is, but I think it's just a retelling. On the request of this person who posted these allegations, please be respectful and do not message or follow our Instagram according to our wishes. A story that supports and lends credence to Cornbread Castle's allegations is contingent on the fact you can see an Instagram name from 2021 is the same during 2022. Okay, so basically this is just saying that there was an account of Andrew sexually assaulting one of her friends, and this was revealed to actually be an earlier reporting of Cornbread's Casserole's assault. Is this getting called assault now? Oh my god. Is this assault? Is this assault? It's bad. He shouldn't have done it, and he should stop doing this in the future, assuming it's true. Is it assault? Jesus Christ. This is what I mean about the extremity of this. It's not a measured conversation of what did Andrew do wrong? How can he avoid doing this in the future? Okay. How can we move forward? And so on and so on and so on. Right? Okay. It's none of that. It's just he's a raper. He's an assaulter. Like, he needs to be cancelled. This person that told this story, she said that he needs to lose his platform. Right? On what planet would you accept or you know, agree to take action off the back of what a victim says about, like, the victim of a crime has got no place in dictating what the punishment for the criminal is. That's absolutely wild. And in the legal system, we have a distinct separation for that exact reason, because, of course, if you're the victim of a crime, you're going to be exceptionally biased, which would mean it's going to make it very difficult for you to fairly determine. Yeah, harassment, sure. Harassment, sure. If someone touches you sexually without consent, it's some form of assault. See, Sabnok, you don't know what you're talking about. This first story, she never claimed that happened. She said she gave consent, but it was after an extreme pestering of her, right? Okay, right. This is what I mean about people desperately wanting all their narratives about this to be correct, right? The second story in the car, I've already said, constitutes sexual assault, which is possibly a crime that's been committed, okay? But what I'm saying is people are referring to this story as assault. This is the biggest fucking problem. If you think every time someone touches you without consent that it's assault, you're an idiot. Well, that's it. Again, that's why the legal system determines these cases. Imperfect, certainly, but it offers protections to all parties to make sure it's dealt with in the best possible way. Needs improvement, particularly with sexual assault, particularly with rape, of course. Okay, I've got to preface everything because people are fucking retarded. Obviously, people go crazy and oh, you think the legal system... No, I don't think the legal system is actually that good sometimes at dealing with this stuff. But I tell you what it's better than is the fucking court of public opinion that wants people strung up by their bollocks the moment a woman comes out and says, oh, this person did something bad to me. You know? But yeah. Okay, so anyway, that covers the stuff we've already sort of talked about, touched on stream. Let's go over this. So we got some other allegations here, okay? Oh, and this Navy story too. The 2020 allegation. So this is actually, I know a lot of people have been complaining because I've talked about this a couple of times, okay? This is fresh. This is fresh content, guys. This is fresh rape content hot out of the oven, all right? So let's get into it. I would like him to be innocent. I don't care either way, okay? I'm not like an Andrew Callaghan guy. People say, oh, watch a Channel 5 video, and often I'm like, oh, okay. And I watch it, and I'm like, it's all right. Like, I'm no hate to the guy. Over his content, at least, right? Let's make that clear. But I never really was like massively into his content. I don't care about whether he's innocent or not. I care about the truth, okay? And I think that there's a distinct lack of that in public discourse about this, right? So this is my interest, is what is the truth of what's going on in all of this, you know? The person who originally posted these allegations requested discretion. So in 2020, a woman revealed that Andrew attempted to sexually prey on one of her friends. So it's someone saying it was their friend. Okay. Oh my God! Hung up with last night and he was in Nashville and he was trying so hard to fuck my friend who made it clear she said no. Manipulate ass motherfucker who's using his platform to get with girls to sleep with him. He's currently touring and living in an RV, so watch out if he comes to your city. He was very drunk. During their inebriation, this girl still had the state of mind to say no to Andrew, but he continued pestering her for sex. After posting the story online, the original poster got a DM from him saying that Andrew raped one girl she knew and was acting creepy to a bunch of others. Yeah, he went to my school with me my freshman year, raped an underage girl in Seattle, and was a total creep to a bunch of other girls and my friends in high school. Hung out with him once in my freshman year when I was still 17. He aggressively came on to me, even after I told him no multiple times, and tried to kiss me and get me back to his place, even after I told him I was uncomfortable. Then he tried following me and my roommate home in the dark. Piece of fucking garbage. Look, what I'm interested in primarily are direct allegations, okay? I want to see, okay, someone come out and say, Andrew raped me. Andrew did this to me. This is what happened to me, okay? The problem you've got when it's, this happened to my friend, okay, unless they've been given clear, like, right, this is my story, go and tell it for me because I'm too scared to come out or whatever, right? Because the thing is first of all, how do we know that this is an accurate reflection of events? Because it's, first of all, not the person directly speaking about it. It's a friend that witnessed events from the outside. Obviously, they didn't necessarily see all the aspects of it. Obviously, someone telling what happened to a friend is not the same as someone telling themselves what happened, you know? Also, what sort of verification process have we had to confirm, you know, the material facts that we can at least evidence or prove, you know? Because, I mean, this, you know, it sounds again like pushy, creepy stuff. The fact that someone's drunk as well with the other thing we looked at is obviously like bad. But this is like someone telling what happened to a friend. Sounds fake. What does that even mean? How can you know that just based on this? You can't. Shut up and be more empirical. I mean, I've got just as much reason to believe this is fake as this is true, because there's no fucking evidence either way. There's nothing. It's just, this happened to a friend of mine once. You know? So, without anything further, it's difficult to come to any firm conclusions about this. But this is the CDO aspect that I'm talking about, is all of this is getting wrapped up together as one allegation, whereas I think this one here maybe is a direct kind of allegation. But the two here, so we've got two stories from my knowledge, unless more come out, obviously it's 12th of January, I can't account for things that come out after this, unless there's more that come out, or there's things I haven't seen that aren't included here, and maybe this other story. These are the only two stories of a woman coming out directly saying, Andrew Callaghan did this to me, you know? Anyway. So. Oh, wait, so this is the same story. It was later revealed that this was actually an earlier version of the Navy story, the full details of which are listed below. So this is it feels like the other thing that's happening then in that case is like, are we like multiplying rape? Are we going, okay, so this story was told twice in two different times, and people are confusing it and going, well, that's two separate allegations. Yeah, double dipping. They're double dipping. The rape combo double dip. Oh, we got two for the price of one here. No, it's just one. You only get one. You only get one rape, okay? You don't get two. You don't get two on this. That's bullshit. Okay, so this is the Navy story. This is the Navy story, okay? This allegation was posted on 7th of January to the subreddit and takes place in New Orleans during 2017. A friend of Moldy Freckles came forward and spoke about his own partner's interaction with Andrew while she was 17. Thank you for the sub.
One gifted a tier 1 sub to the Jenny Matrix.
Thank you very much. A friend of Moldy Freckles came forward and spoke about his own partner's interaction with Andrew. She describes how Andrew DM'd her to hang out one with her and her friends, and she agreed. He took them to a local abandoned Navy base. So there's Moldy Freckles' friend coming forward, and Moldy Freckles' friend is speaking about his partner's interaction. So that lines up with, okay, right. So again, it's not the person themselves coming forward to say, and that's fine if it's like, maybe it's a case of, hey, I can't tell the story, it's too traumatic for me, can you do it on my behalf? But yeah. Because obviously if you do that, you can maybe get some clarity on specifically what happened. But if it's a friend recalling what happened to the person. Like, it's a lot. Human memory fucking sucks, okay? Like, this is why we can't just go, okay, you're saying it happened, so therefore it happened, right? It's not to say that these things didn't happen. It's not to say like we should completely deny the chance of this happening. But it's like, you know, if you're telling your story, it's important to bring forward as many fucking receipts as you can to demonstrate what you're talking about. You know, just to give yourself that credibility. And the fact we're now relying on things, so it's not only things that happened years ago, but on top of that, we're also relying on the retelling of a story by a person that wasn't even directly involved. It was, or you know, it's not affecting directly. It is the third party. Like it just gets, the water gets very muddy, you know. And the issue is, again, if it was just like, look, Andrew's done some stuff here. He's been creepy here. In this case, he might have even crossed other lines or whatever. He needs to like work on himself and sort his shit out and move forward with his life and not do this anymore. Blah blah blah. I'd be cool with that. I'd be like, yeah, I can get on board with that. Then that's fine. But it's the totality with which we're being told that we must have severe consequences for it. That's the issue for me. That's where I'm like, well, if you want severe consequences, you need to provide, without a shadow of a doubt, things that happened. Do you know what I mean? We are stuck with a court of public opinion. This stuff often isn't going to go through a legal process. But then we shouldn't like reject some of the premises that are really fundamental there, you know, for fear of maybe fucking someone over when they don't really deserve to have the totality of their work destroyed. Where, you know, it could just, you know, if it was just a reflection and a moving forward and something like that, it'd be fine. But it's like we're expected to believe women, right? But it's not just believe women, right? That's the issue. It's believe women and accept what they say we should do about these situations, you know, or believe women and accept what the angry mob say we should do about this. Like, it's like there's more to it than that, you know? So yeah, it's frustrating. Anyway, he didn't know to local about a Navy base, which was known to be a fun place to explore and do graffiti. During the hangout, he acted oddly possessive over her, grabbing her all day and trying to isolate her from a small friend group. The group decided it didn't like his weird behaviour and took an Uber to a music venue, which had a bar attached. Andrew followed them in his own Uber to the same venue and kept ordering the underage girl shots, and later pulled her around the corner and forcibly tried to make out with her until her roommates came over and intervened. Jesus, that sounds pretty bad. But like, is there anything that we can have to substantiate this in any meaningful way? Because, hang on a sec, I don't know what the law is in the US, but if you're getting drinks, well, first of all, the venue would primarily be at fault for that. But if you're like trying to get an underage girl drunk and then you're forcing yourself on her, that sounds pretty criminally. Like, do you know what I mean? That sounds pretty criminally to me. I don't know what the law is exactly on that. That sounds like you're doing something legally wrong. Even if the venue is at fault for letting you in. But if you are like buying a minor alcohol, isn't that wrong as well? Also, can I just say as well, right? Can I just say something too? Doesn't this demonstrate too the point I make always about these cases of how important it is to go to the police? Right? Because even if the police aren't able to do anything with that particular instance, it could be that if, like, say, someone got brought in and questioned about something like this, that's going to scare the shit out of someone, and it might make them modify their behavior. It might make them go, oh my God, what have I done? I didn't realize how bad my behavior was here. I'm going to sort myself out and move forward. There's lots of instances where people that are younger, you know, have this interaction with the police. And exactly, Jenny, I agree with you. It should be a last resort, not a first course of action. I agree. But often, like, teenagers and stuff have an interaction with police. It scares them shitless. So they're like, oh, God, I better not do that thing anymore, you know? So I think that I appreciate it's difficult. All the stuff, I agree with that. But, like, this could potentially help. Like, the fact that no one in any of these cases did anything to take it further with the police has meant that he can, if this is true, he can just continue on and on and on and on, you know, without any seeming stopping, according to the you know, testimony here. So yeah, go to the police, even if you think it's not going to go anywhere. At the very least, go to the police. Maybe they'll get brought in for questioning by the police. That might have an impact on their willingness to like engage in certain bad behavior going forward. So have you got raped by? No, I don't. Okay, I covered this earlier. I don't know if you were here or not. I was saying that I think people should be able to talk about their story, but we live in an era now where talking about your story leads to the angry mob pulling their pitchforks out, and sometimes that can be instigated by the person making the claim, like the person that said, "Oh, they should lose their channel." But sometimes it's just a natural outcome of talking about these issues. So I don't know what the answer is to that. I think that it should be a last resort if legal process isn't going forward. I think it should be done with caution, and I think you ought to provide as many receipts and evidence as you can. But, you know, none of that's going to happen. This will happen again and again and again and again. And this is probably our future, okay? This is probably our future. If you want to imagine a vision of the future, imagine reading a twit longer, accusing another niche micro-internet celebrity of sexual assault forever. That's the future. Anyway, they got her to get away from him. The girl kept repeating she had a boyfriend. Andrew responded with, "It's cool. I have a long-distance girlfriend. We're open. Do you want to have a threesome with us when she comes to town next week?" Jesus. And kept her in a corner, pushing her on the idea until the roommate's boyfriend went over and tried to fight him. Okay. They broke away and the two walked away together, but he followed them halfway to the dorms until they literally started sprinting away. Also, how old was Andrew when this all allegedly happened? One other pretty minor note is that Andrew lied about his age. As he told the girls he was 22, and what's this a link to? Another Reddit thread with a message, an anonymous message. Okay, good one. He also must have had fake ID because he was buying drinks. So he was under. So how old was he? Was he under 18 or around 18 or 19 or something? Yes, apparently he was under 21. I mean, that change. Like, there's a different context there between someone over the age of drinking, like, you know, trying to get a 17-year-old drunk. Like, if it's just like people under 21 in a bar together getting drinks, he could have still acted badly, sure. But there's a difference. There's like they're trying to invoke like almost a pedo aspect. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to subtly invoke the pedo, you know, the pedo multiplier. So you've got obviously the you know, the different rapes and stuff, allegations, assault, whatever you want to call it. And then you add the pedo multiplier on, and then you're fucked. And then you're truly fucked. That's a disaster. You do not want to have the pedo multiplier on there, I'll tell you that much. Double XP on the rape allegation. And then there's obviously the other allegations. This one, what was this one? Oh yeah, this one was like, what is this? When we was on tour, he took me and my friend to a party and tried to fuck my roommate. After she said no, he left our house screaming. It just sounds so weird. Like, I mean, it's feasible. Like, I think that it sounds like this guy is like pushy, like he wants to get women drunk sometimes, or he's like preying on like drunk women because they're more likely to fuck him. There's stuff here which I think is pretty feasible. Just like, he left our house screaming. What does that even look like? He just left going, ah, like running out, ah. Like, what? It sounds mental. Very odd kind of allegations that just seem crazy. Yelling and angry. Okay. I mean, I think that based on okay, I'll just say this, right? I think based on everything that I've read and everything that I've seen, Andrew sounds like a creepy guy who is pushy with sex, you know, has the mentality of, oh, if they're drunker, they're more likely to say yes, and therefore, you know, acts accordingly in that way. Maybe tries to get women drunk. If he's out and he sees a woman drunk, he'll try and crack onto them, thinking, you know, oh, loosey-goosey. Like, yeah, there's stuff here that probably he's done and is, you know, is bad. Do you know what I mean? And I don't have a problem with, like, talking about that and talking about this issue of particularly young men having this mentality about sex, and it's fucked up. It's wrong, obviously. But the extremity with which people are painting these, to the point where it's not just like, oh yeah, he's a kind of a creepy guy and he does shitty stuff for women, he should probably work on that. It is, we've got to destroy this guy and we've got to get rid of his platform. It's wild to me. The amount of like denouncement and all this stuff that's coming through from people acting as if he's Gary Glitter or, Harvey Weinstein is wild. Is absolutely fucking wild to me. But people just seem to be, I mean, it's basically just like your classic case study for how this stuff works on the internet, And I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I've had my nose on my phone a lot over the past couple of days. I feel that I've seen it more clearly than ever before with the way this is happening. Anyway, that's kind of it in terms of kind of briefly going over the allegations. I know you probably heard about 1 billion people speak about them. But yeah, obviously I should probably just say, because this is probably going to be a YouTube segment, some of these allegations that were made, like, just an example here, like, this is crazy. Like, the allegation here is that I've said this already, obviously, he's got a list of women that he gets them to give him head without reciprocating. And then apparently he doesn't understand the anatomy of a vagina. Okay. Is this really where we're at? We're like, oh, like, this is being included? This is what I mean about the CDO of allegations in this case, is the stuff being included that is absolute fucking bunk. Complete nonsense. Nothing. A literal nothing burger. But that's being used to bolster everything else of, oh, look at all these allegations against him. Where, unless I'm missing something, obviously 12th of January, unless something further comes out, the substantive allegations that we've got, which are direct allegations of someone saying Andrew Callaghan did this to me, a cornbread casserole story wherein she claims that Andrew got her drunk and was pesty and was far too persistent in trying to have sex with her. And then Moldy Freckles' story, which is the most serious one, where she alleges that he touched her without consent whilst in her car. These are the only two which are direct allegations from someone saying, Andrew did this to me. Everything else is either hearsay, it's, this happened to my friend. In one case, it's like it happened to a friend of a friend told me this. It's fucking insane. That people are so certain. And the thing is like, I don't have a problem with saying, there's some pretty troubling stuff here. Like, we should probably dig a bit deeper into this. And the other okay, people keep using the word credible. This is really fucking pissing me off, okay? People keep using the word credible to mean these allegations are true and we should accept them at face value. Credible means we need to investigate further to confirm their veracity. That's what credible's supposed to mean. It means, this allegation on the face of it seems to have some merit, so we should dig further to confirm the details of the story. God damn it. People keep using this word credible as if credible means we just immediately accept on its face exactly 100% what's being claimed here. It's mental. Anyway, those are my frustrations with this. Let's watch Ethan Klein and see what he had to say, because that is genuinely new. I know people are mad at me for having spoken about this a couple of times. This is genuinely new information on the grapevine. So, let's have a little look, shall we?
I believe both girls. So, but when the second girl came out, I was like, okay, I need to talk to Andrew about this. I mean, listen, he is my friend. We do have a relationship. I'm not just going to go to the internet and start talking about all this without even reaching out to him. Like, you know what I mean? It's just...
Okay. Spoiler alert, I've seen a bit of this. Good start, though.
What happened? He said the Cly is inside. It's not. Prove it to me it's not. And the girl unzips. It's a trick of his, I bet.
Thank you very much for the bits. Appreciate it. Good so far, but I know how this goes, so we'll see.
Needed to hear from him what happened.
Okay. Good start.
So I talked to him, and he was, look, he's in a really bad mental headspace. Obviously, he was like soaring on top of the world, and now he's like canceled. But I wanted the details. I said, yo, what's up with these allegations? You got to tell me what's going on. I talked on the phone with him. The first girl, he told me, I'm just going to tell you what he said. By the way, I was hoping to wait to talk about this till he put out a statement. He told me that he was going to put out a statement today at 12. I think he's working on a statement. I guess it's going to come out today.
Okay, good. So we should wait for the statement, right? Before commenting further, we should say, we'll allow Andrew a chance to say his piece and respond to the allegations. That's going to be exactly what happens next, guys. End of video. Finito.
I can find out. Maybe I'll text him and find out when. So I'm sure he wants people to read his statement. So if I could read it on stream, that'd be good. I wanted to make sure he was like in a safe place, that he wasn't. Why are you guys saying stop? Don't say anything. I'm just telling you what happened, okay? I'm just being
I mean, his audience is on the money there, right? Like, stop. Don't say anything. Just let Sleeping Dogs lie for now, and then let him respond. But no, we'll see.
Parent. Oh, you don't want me to say what he told me? The fuck? Why? I don't understand your guys's... I don't understand the logic, but a lot of y'all say don't say anything. So... No, it's not private. He listen, guys, it was a private conversation, but what he told me, he sent me stuff that he wanted me to convey. Okay? You know what I mean? I'm not like saying stuff that was said to me in private, if that's what you guys are afraid of. Like, he was sending me stuff to show to Hassan, text messages and stuff and stories, like, cuz he's saying that he wants people to hear his side of stuff, at least if people are talking about it. And so he told me this stuff.
Yes, exactly. Yes, because he's probably thinking, oh my God, everyone's calling me a giga rapist. Like, what is going on? Whereas there probably is some things he needs to account for, and there probably is things he's done which are wrong. And he needs to say, hey, look, I've definitely behaved badly with women in the past, and it's something I want to work on, and blah, blah, blah. But he's also, I thought based on my initial hearing of what's going on that he might just lay down, but I don't think he should, because I feel like there's a lot of pressure on him to do that. There's a lot of pressure on him to just lay down and go, yeah, guys, you got me, I'm a raper. But I think there is going to be his side to the story. And whilst I think that, like, definitely between two sides of a story, there's the truth. That's probably the case here, right? The fact we do have this extremity and we don't have any moderation of that, like, yeah, it's important that we hear what he's got to say. And again, one principle of the legal system, I don't know what the term for this is, but obviously you get to, say your side of the story. It's not just that we immediately assume that the allegations are true normally, we would investigate it and allow like a day in court or whatever process you use to find out the truth. But in this case, everyone's decided. I'm not going crazy, by the way, am I? Everyone has decided, haven't they? I've seen all of the tweets, all of the takes, all of the videos. Everyone is saying Andrew Callaghan's done it. He's bad. Like, and some people are going further even and saying that he should lose his channel and he shouldn't have his platform. By everyone, I mean like lefty figures. There's lefty figures that are like denouncing videos they've made, saying, oh, I literally just put a video out saying his stuff is good, and obviously I've taken it down now. There's another thing. Okay, here's another thing. Here's another thought process I was having. Okay, I feel like when everyone's talking about what's going on, right? Oh, hey, Stardust. When everyone's talking about what's going on, I wonder how much that functions as, you know, in like police interviews, when the police initially interview you about something, right? They will use whatever tactics and strategies they can to like press you for a confession if they have got a good, feeling that you've done the crime or something like that. They'll put a lot of pressure on you to like confess, right? They want a confession, basically, is the long story short in a lot of cases. So why you need to speak to a lawyer before you say anything. I feel like sometimes I wonder if like, there is this pressure of everyone wanting to try and Giga cancel you. I wonder if that pressure serves that kind of function. Because I can imagine Andrew's probably looking at this thinking like, there must be an immense pressure to just kind of accept the fault that people are putting out there. I mean, I felt this myself when I had my issue a couple of years ago now. Literally a couple of years ago it happened. Wait, oh my God. I think it was 2 years ago to the day that I had my allegations drop against me. Maybe the 13th of January, I can't remember. It's like the anniversary for me. So this is actually very close to home. This is actually very close to home. No, I had allegations that I groomed someone. That was my allegation. If you want to understand what happened better, go and watch Destiny's coverage of it and you'll see what's what. It's far too cringe for me to think about now. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Just a thought I had. Okay, anyway, let's continue.
With the understanding that I might share it. People are saying, why are you conveying things from him? I'm just literally saying what he said, but if you don't want me to talk about it, then I won't. I don't understand that necessarily. I mean, I'm reading chat. I'm trying to get some logic here. No, he did not say they're lying.
True,
guys.
Jenny. That's
let
true.
me at least fucking explain before you'll jump down my throat. Like, hello, let me talk. It's so hard to talk about this stuff, which I get, the people get really, there's high emotions and stuff when you talk about this stuff. So it's hard for everybody. I'm not, I totally understand the people in the chat have strong opinions about this, right? Like that I get. And me too. That's what this whole is just very hard to talk about. But I just want to be transparent. I mean, he's going to put out a statement that is more detailed and obviously the way that he wants to say stuff, but I'm not betraying his trust or anything. I'm sure.
Doesn't it? Oh, hey, Karantos, thanks for the raid.
He said some bad words. He said the N-word.
All streamers are somewhat captive to their audience or something, I guess you could say. I don't think that's the right term for it, but there's a consideration or process or concern. Oh, hey, boys, how's it going? Q raid indeed. We're just doing rape apology at the moment, so let's get into it. Anyone for some rape apology in chat? But it feels like Ethan is it's like he's laser focused on the chat. Like I don't know. It's like he's really. It's almost like he's just checking to see what the kind of temperature is in terms of the things that he's saying, and it's why he's so. Maybe he's just normally like this. Maybe he's just very communicative with chat. But it's unusual to see such a big content creator have this kind of really intense focus on what chat's doing at a given time, But yeah. Anyway,
he would be fine to know. Look, chat. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's okay. I understand why y'all are getting emotional. I'm not even mad. I'm just trying to understand why you guys said. Planet Kaylee said, sadness, I don't know what to think. I've been essayed and worse. I do feel men can redeem themselves and is responsible to be a great interest to women like me. I appreciate that comment, Planet Kaylee. Chad needs to calm down. Ethan's doing his best.
I mean, would Ethan extend that to everyone? I don't know. It feels like he's only saying that and pointing that out now because it's his friend on the hook. It feels like Ethan would normally, if it was a guy that he politically disagreed with, it would be, yeah, let's fucking go, fuck this guy, no redemption. Not that he'd explicitly state it, but certainly there wouldn't be the same tone, I don't think. But I can't imagine Ethan would be as generous and kind to someone that he doesn't like getting accused of this sort of thing.
Tough situation. It's all good. Say whatever you think needs to be said on your
I
part
mean,
in
you
order
know, Amaranth's husband obviously had allegations against him, which was that he pressured Amaranth to perform in certain ways for stream and also to do certain hours, you know, do extensive hours. And he was on stream trying to dox the fella. He was on stream trying to dox the guy. Wait a minute. That is actually a very good fucking point. Amaranth's husband gets accused of, you know, kind of vaguely being possessive and controlling her and this kind of stuff. He's there trying to dox the guy. Oh, we got him, have we? Oh shit, it's the wrong person. Ends up getting the wrong guy. But here he is with Andrew Callaghan accused of, you know, seemingly in some cases maybe even worse than what Amaranth's husband. Well, yeah, I think that, you know, we should bear in mind that we should have a pathway back to redemption. What the fuck, man? Vaguely, yes, Nick Daniels, okay? Listen, I know Amaranth heads like to cope, okay? Like to cope about what's going on. But true misogynists know reality. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Chat, you're doing great, sweetie. My feelings as a fan of all parties, we don't want you to defend him and help him if he wants to misconstrue the parties. Listen, I'm not doing that. It's not my intention. I said straight out the gate. Let me just say it before everyone makes assumptions and shit. Let me just say what I was going to say. So, first, I just wanted to make sure
He's
that
straight through this whole stream.
he told me he was like at a psych ward. He was not doing well and he was having panic attacks and stuff.
Okay, so first of all, I need to point something out, okay? Right? If my belief on this is true, which this is just purely guessing, mainly for this meme I'm about to do, okay? If it's true that he's like in a psych ward, perhaps even maybe institutionalized, I don't fucking know what's going on, but let's say he is. That would be, by and large, the absolute best response I've ever seen to a Me Too allegation. Absolute gold star response. I've gone fucking mental. I've gone literally mental over getting accused. Lock me away. Oh, that would be a good meme. But the thing is I don't really know what that means. So he's at a psych ward. Is he committed? Is he institutionalized? Like sectioned, we'd call that, where like you're put in against your wishes, maybe? I don't. Is he gone willingly to a psych ward? Like, it's a psych ward. That's a pretty extreme terminology. You know, that's the kind of places you used to get locked up in a straitjacket and shit. Is he stuck there in a padded room in a straitjacket going, oh, fuck, Twitter's really angry at me. Oh, no. Like, what is going on? So, you know, I think that, like, there's a lack of clarity here that I think is leading to certain conclusions. He does need a straitjacket for his dick. I don't know. I don't understand what to make of that. What does that mean? He's at a psych ward for panic attacks, for anxiety attack. Is that a thing? But if he's self-admitted himself, then that means then he is like, the word is that the right word? Institutionalized? As in like he's gone and said, I'm in a severe mental health crisis and I'm a risk to myself and others, and they keep kept for everyone's safety. I don't know. Anxiety, panic attacks make you think you're literally dying. In any case, I don't really know what to make of this. I don't know exactly what's being said here. In my head, I'm thinking, does that mean like institutionalized, psych ward? That sounds pretty serious. Da 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 da. I mean, yeah, it could just. That's the thing. This is the other problem too. But here's my problem with this, by the way. Here's my problem with this, right? People are just accepting 100%. They've got the narrative in their head. I've heard people saying, "Oh, Andrew Callaghan has admitted to it all." When clearly the context is he wants to give his side of the story. People are out there fucking saying, well, Andrew Callaghan's admitted it to us all, so he's admitted to it. He said he's guilty. He hasn't said that at all. What is this fucking bullshit? Also, if he's in a psych ward, I'm not sure if we should be necessarily taking his fucking word at face value if he's got mental health struggles he's trying to work his way through at the moment. Do you know what I mean? And that's on top of the fact that we're taking this from Ethan Klein, who, it's not always the most accurate and honest in how he presents things. And he doesn't seem to understand that saying stuff here is probably bad and he should just wait for Andrew to give his response at the time that he's ready to, And
I, first of all, wanted to make sure that he was safe, that he wasn't going to hurt himself, that he was with people that cared about him. Obviously, I don't want him to die. I'm hoping none of y'all think he should die for this, do you? And so I did.
Do you to his chat? Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Who on earth? I mean, he clearly has got some level of concern that people in his chat would think that. I'm pretty sure that I've even seen that discussed myself. Who would want him to die for this? That's insane. People have absolutely lost it. We've actually got a little segment on a leftoid that got cancelled, and that's going to come up later. KYLR. KYLR. That's the meme. We'll explain that a bit later, okay? But yeah, if you think that Andrew should die for this, I mean, I don't know what your conception is of criminal justice and stuff, but Jesus Christ, I never want you anywhere near the levers of power. Could you imagine?
Confirmed that he's doing okay. So that was a relief to me. Again, I'm not defending him, and I believe those victims 100% since they came out with their videos. So what was I saying? Well, what I was going to say.
I believe victims that provide evidence, okay? I believe victims that provide evidence. If you don't have evidence, okay, I'm willing to say, okay, that could have happened. Can you substantiate it in any way? This has become a virtue signal. Oh, I believe them. I believe them. I believe them. Do you really believe them? Do people really listen to it and go, I believe this is 100% accurate representation of what happened? Right? Because I don't. If someone says something really bad happened to me, I don't immediately go, that's definitely what happened. I think, that sounds real fucking bad. Do you have any evidence for it?
Welcome to Chud Nation.
Especially if we're looking to destroy someone off the back of it.
They have given 24 gift subs.
I didn't mean to approve that. Sorry, I'm going to have to ban you for that one. Ooh, I didn't mean to approve that. That was a mistake, Twitch. I'm sorry. I banned them straight away, okay? I banned them straight away. Sorry, I accidentally clicked approve. I didn't read the message. My bad. Okay, they're now banned. My apologies. Please don't. I didn't mean to approve it. We are very pro-Jew on this channel. We do not support anti-Semitism. Okay, we're very much against anti-Semitism. Okay, we love Jews. Okay.
Before y'all jumping to conclusions, that he confirmed what they're saying is true. Okay.
Right. So
those victims 100% since they came out with their videos. So what was I saying? Well, what I was going to say before y'all jumping to conclusions is that he confirmed what they're saying is true. Okay.
So hang on a minute. Earlier, he said that Andrew has got text. He referenced Andrew having text messages and wanting to tell his side of the story. But now he's saying that Andrew confirmed what they said was true. That doesn't make any sense. Why would he have his own side to tell if he's just going to come out and go, well, what they said is true, guys. String me up. Do you know what I mean? Bit contradictory. Little bit contradictory here. And obviously this is the clip that's been shared. And this is what people are pointing to say that Andrew Callaghan has essentially confessed to his crimes. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. It's the 12th of January. Andrew Callaghan may well come out and say, I did it all. I'm a raper. If that's the case, then he's chosen the path of least resistance, and what will happen will happen. You know? But I'm guessing my prediction would be he's going to come out and say, so I accept that I've done some things bad with women, but there's some things here which just aren't true. Because the thing is, if he comes out and cops to like the absolute worst of what's being said about him, that's like his career done. Right? That's his career done. If he accepts the worst of what's been said about him online, like, he's going to have to at least come out and say, look, people are calling me this, and this. And that's not true. Like, he's got to. Because people are calling him like a giga rapist out there. I don't know.
Y'all fucking, you know what I mean? He confirmed that he knew the girls and that he had encounters with them. So right out the bat, you know what I mean?
So so it then goes on to say he confirms he knew the girls and had encounters with them. Well, what does that mean exactly? What does that mean? What does that mean? Encounters could mean, you know, he's got a conception of what happened and he's going to put that story out there. Or it could mean everything they said is 100% accurate and correct. But I don't know if like Andrew's going to say that. I think that Ethan, through speaking on this, is functionally kind of like, you know, I don't know, he's kind of just publicly stating this stuff. Yeah, I know, I've been through the allegations already. This is wild to me. I mean, off the back of this statement that Ethan's made, people are out there saying that Andrew Callaghan has confessed. I'm not crazy, right? I've seen this with my own eyes. People are saying Andrew Callaghan came out and said that he did it. He's confessed. He said that he's guilty. And it's like, no, he hasn't at all. All that's happened is Ethan Klein has said that Andrew Callaghan has said that he said what the girl said is true, that he knew the girls and he'd had encounters with them. That's what's happened. But people have jumped to, well, he said he's guilty. Get the noose ready. Get the rapist noose ready. Come on, let's get it going. We're going to string him up. It's mental. Jesus, man. This is fucking wild.
I mean, he was pretty open, and basically that's what I wanted to hear, right? Like he confirmed that this stuff basically happened.
The basically is doing a lot of fucking work there, I think. I mean, look, I don't know. To be honest, it's the 12th of January. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what Andrew Callaghan's going to say. Obviously, I'll cover his response when it comes out. But the fact that people are coming to such firm conclusions off of this is wild, crazy, but not at all unexpected. Because that's just the world we live in. All that's happening is people want him to be guilty so that they can justify their moral outrage and stuff, and all the virtue signaling and all that stuff. This is why we're here on the Chud Logic channel, to make content and have fun. Because that's all we can do here. That's all we're going to do.
What do you mean he's gaslighting me? He literally told me it happened. Like, what the fuck? Guys, listen. Oh no, the abusers isn't mentally well. Listen, I know it's not about him being the victim, but...
Oh my God. We're going to see this in a story later, if you stick around for this segment I'm going to do later, okay? But these people who say stuff like this, they would crumble like a fucking biscuit, cookie, whatever. They would fucking crumble if exposed to a fucking percent of the pressure that people are put under when these allegations come out, okay? They would fucking kill themselves. They would literally fucking kill themselves if they were subjected to one iota of the pressure that Andrew Callaghan is currently under, okay? So this fucking bullshit of, he's under a lot of fucking pressure. Rolling Stone have written a story about this. He's under a lot of fucking pressure, okay? You do not know what it's like to be under that much pressure. I've been under a fraction of the pressure that Andrew Callaghan is under, and yeah, it fucking sucks. It's horrendous. How do you think it feels that everyone out there is calling you a fucking groomer pedo, right, without even hearing what you've got to say or understanding the story? How do you think it feels that everyone out there is calling you a fucking giga rapist when you even had a chance to come forward and say what's going on? It's going to fuck your head up. So of course he's in a fucking meant bad way. And there's no sympathy whatsoever for that, because he's a bad person and he's definitely done the absolute worst of what's being said. None of this helps situation move forward. None of this actually helps victims. All it does is please people's sense of fucking, bloodlust for these situations. So annoying. But, oh well. Humans gonna human, guys. It is what it is. Welcome to the internet. Welcome to discourse.
But I don't want him to die. Okay? Like, I have a obligation as a human being to another human being to make sure that he's not, like, suicidal. And I'm just gonna not check on him. Like, you guys gotta pick... Anyway, what the fuck? I gotta stop reading the chat. Y'all are getting in my head. Stun locking me. Yeah, don't look at chat. Fuck. Now I know what it's like to be stun locked. But anyway, it's not about him, right? So, sorry, I gotta stop reading chat. The one time I read chat, I gotta stop reading it. All right, let me get my fucking thoughts together on this. So... I mean, my main takeaway is that he confirmed he knew the girls, right? And basically, that's all I'll say. I mean, I talked to him a lot. I wanted to hear from him what happened, and that's all I'll say is that he confirmed he knew them. So, like that's not defending him at all. I mean, if anything, it's correct.
He confirmed he knew them. Earlier, he was saying it in a way that made it sound like he was copping to all the bad stuff that was said about him. And obviously, that's the bit that's been clipped. But now, it's actually, he said he knew them. Well, that's very different to him accepting fault on every single line, which is what you seemed to suggest earlier. Oh my God, man. This is wild.
Corroborating what they said. So... I basically am just waiting. I'm really just waiting for a statement to kind of...
Well, don't worry about that, Ethan. You've said something now, and everyone's going to act like he's guilty. Based. Giga Chad. Let's go.
There's not even really a conclusion. I mean, it sucks. You know what the fuck? I mean, what the fuck can I say? It sucks. It's very upsetting. It's weird because, like, I'm both a fan of him and a friend of him. So it's just... It really sucks. What can I say? I mean, y'all fucking in the same boat as me. That's it. That's all I got to say about it. I mean, I don't have any other fucking thing to say about it this time. Some of y'all want me to, like...
Okay. What is so amazing about what Ethan Klein has done there is he's simultaneously managed to take a softer approach than he would do with his political enemies, and has, or people he doesn't know. Right? Okay? Because he's taken a softer approach than he did with, say, Amaranth's husband. Okay? But also he simultaneously managed to throw him under the bus. Like, it's incredible. It's honestly incredible. The fact that he's able to take a softer approach because he's friends with the guy while simultaneously throwing him under the bus at the same time by making a statement that's acting like he's admitting to everything. And then everyone is now saying he's admitted fault, he's admitted guilt, and he's guilty, and he's confessed and all this stuff. It is wild, like how bad that statement was from every single angle. Wow, there we go. It's impressive. It's impressive almost. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of said everything I've got to say on this, really.